Today, guys, we're going to talk about inequalities in a triangle. Now, we've discussed some triangle things being congruent before, kind of like this isosceles triangle I have up here. These two legs are congruent, which, using the isosceles triangle theorem, we would know that these base angles then, the angles opposite them, are congruent. And so we've discussed things that are congruent in a triangle. What we're going to talk about today are some inequalities in triangles, some things that are either greater than or even less than, and use some of those symbols and that concept in geometry. And one of the things we're going to do is look at how can I tell, given the sides of a triangle, what is the largest angle? And this is really based on a hinge here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a compass here and just kind of explain where this comes from. If you notice, I'm going to take that compass and put it like right on top of that isosceles triangle. And if you notice, it says 120 here. What that measurement is, I don't really know what it is. It's definitely not the angle measurement. But it's some kind of measurement. And I want you to just picture this as a triangle with the third side connecting the 2 points here of this compass. And then I want you to notice as we make that third side bigger, okay, as we make that side larger, what happens to that angle in here? Well, it becomes larger. It's went from 120 to 182. And then if I make it smaller, okay, even smaller than the 120 we had up here, or the smaller than the opening we had up here before, notice that 120 has now become a 70. So what happens here is that this is the concept, is that the largest angle is opposite the largest side. Okay, I like to think of it as a mouth sometimes. And so we're going to take a look at this triangle, and I'm going to think of this as a mouth. And I want you to picture angle A here. Notice angle A has to eat a side that is 15. And because the other sides are only 10 and 8, those opposite angles don't have to eat this side that's quite as large. So that means angle A has to open its mouth larger, which makes angle A, in this case, the largest side. The next largest side then would be angle B. Notice angle B has to open up and eat a side that is 10. Okay? And 10 is not quite as big as 15, but it's a little bit bigger than 8. So angle B would be our next largest angle. And then our smallest angle here in this case then would be angle C. And notice angle C only has to eat a side that is 8. And so angle C then would be our smallest angle. Okay, let's take a look at another example I have here, and we'll do this one real quick. So we will just want to list the angles in order from largest to smallest. Be careful to follow directions. Sometimes they say smallest to largest. I think most of the time for us, we'll do largest to smallest. So as we take a look at this, what would be my largest angle? Well, I think in this case, because 13 is my largest side, then it's angle S that has to open up the largest. And so angle S would be my largest side. Now my next largest side would be 11. Okay, and 11 is opposite angle Q. So angle Q has to open up and eat the side that is 11. And so angle Q would be the next largest. And then once again, our smallest would be 8. Okay, and it is opposite R. So R only has to open up and kind of eat that side that's 8. And so angle R would be your smallest angle. Now, guys, the same concept works here for the sides. Okay, it works for the sides, just like if I pull that compass back up, which I will here. Okay, we're going to pull this compass up. And it works the same for the sides. As this angle, see that 120, whatever that measurement is, as it gets bigger, okay, as that opposite angle gets bigger, then this side gets bigger. Okay, and then as that number there next to that in the compass gets smaller, then that side gets smaller. Okay, so in this case, it's the same thing, is that the largest side is opposite the largest angle. So let's take a look at this picture and let's figure out what would be the sides in order from the largest to the smallest. Well, the largest side would have to be opposite the largest angle. In this triangle, 61 is the largest angle. So think of it kind of again as a mouth here. And so it's got a mouth that opens up 61 degrees. It's opened up a little bit bigger. So that opposite side is the largest side. So OR would be our largest side. Now, the next largest side would be opposite the next largest angle, which in this case would be the 60. Notice that its sides open up to be 60 degrees. And so RS would be, excuse me, the next largest side. And then the smallest side then would be opposite the 59, which is your smallest side, which is OS. So, excuse me, let's take a look at another example of this, and something you're definitely going to see is, let's list the sides in order from largest to smallest again here. Whoa, guys, man, they don't give me a picture here. So in triangle DEF, angle D is 63 and angle E is 48. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw this picture. And just a generic triangle is fine. I'm going to go ahead and label it DEF. It wouldn't matter how you draw it. It wouldn't matter which side you label, which side. Everything's going to work out the same. But we're going to put D as 63. And we'll put angle E as 48. So the question is, which is the largest angle? Is 63 the largest angle? Well, I might look at this and say, I'm not really sure because I don't know what angle F is. But I think we can find angle F really quickly because we know that the angles of a triangle all have to equal 180. So 63 plus 48 is, let's say that's 111. We'll subtract that from 180. And so we will get, I believe, 69 degrees. So angle F is 69 degrees. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's a good thing we found that, because if you thought 63 was the largest angle, you're wrong. 69 is the largest angle here. And so it opens up the largest. And so that means that DE would have to be the largest side here. The next largest side then would be, or opposite the next largest angle, which is 63. It would open up to EF. And so EF would be your middle side, second largest. And then your smallest side would be the side that's opposite the 48 here. And so 48 would open up to a side that's DF. And so DF would be your smallest side. Okay, guys, there are your inequalities in a triangle.